his chest and said that he was probably already understood that the queen had sent him here also in order to call him to the capital. Lloyd frowned with displeasure and realized that it was time to pretend to be ill. He raised his eyebrows with a pitiful look, looking away. He immediately began to cough convulsively in the sweat of his brow and said that he had been slightly ill lately. He looked at him from under his brows with a sarcastic grin and said that he would need recovery. Ventura looked at him animatedly, said that Alicia wanted to see him. The protagonist raised his eyebrows and pretended to be sick, because he remembered that she told him that he only comes when he needs her, but ignored all her requests to see her. At that moment, she haughtily held his chin and called him too selfish. They all rode in a carriage, while the main character frowned with displeasure. Then the brown-haired man with a displeased look walked along with the knight behind the assistant. Then he stood on one knee, clenching his fists and a sullen grin. Alicia at this time sat at her desk and looked at Lloyd, realizing that he came here of his own free will, and even he could not imagine how happy she would be if he ignored her message. She, with a trembling smile, leaning her head on her hand, looked at him and said that she could even invade his estate because of a broken heart. She sat at the table and looked at the bent Lloyd, saying that if she did that, he would immediately run away to Asfahan, and this thought would hurt her even more. She stared at him in amazement and told him not to go beyond the limits of what was permitted and he would have peace. He put his fingers to his chest and without raising his head, said that he would not dare to ignore her request and asked her about her wish. He understood that now she would not pressure him. If he played all the cards and tried to negotiate, he could avoid the fate of a lifelong slave. Alicia got up from the table, put her hands on the table and had to show him something and asked him to follow her. It was a huge palace with gates, protected by guards. The protagonist opened his mouth in amazement upon seeing something. The two of them stood and saw the huge bones of a dragon. Alicia stood next to a surprised Lloyd and explained that they had found it in the Dark Mage's hideout and it looked like they were trying to use it for some kind of ritual. The hero understood that it was told in the novel that dragon bones could be used to make various magical items. He began to lick his lips with a sarcastic grin.